Helvetica is like water. It's essential. It's everywhere. Everyone sees it, reads it, and uses it, some very actively, and some without even thinking. It's a benchmark, a typeface against which others are judged. Is it as versatile as Helvetica? Is it as legible as Helvetica? It's used by default by designers and brands for whom typography means very little, and it's the gold standard for designers and brands for whom type means everything. Helvetica was born in 1957, the brainchild of Max Miedinger and Edward Hoffmann at the Haas Type Foundry in Switzerland. It had its precedent in similar designs from Haas and the very popular and very old Accidens Grotesque family. Miedinger and Hoffmann addressed the deficiencies of those previous grotesques, carefully sculpting the forms and counters into a perfect balance: clarity, simplicity, and neutrality. The watchwords of mid-century Swiss graphic design became the guiding principles of what was originally called Haas Grotesque. In 1960, Haas's parent company Stempel renamed the design Helvetica to reflect its Swiss ethos. The 1957 release had limited styles and sizes, but was quickly augmented with additional weights and widths, and became a major success throughout Europe and the US. Helvetica was the typographic voice of the international style and mid-century modernism. In the 1960s and 70s, it was adapted for nearly every pre-digital typesetting system. Helvetica was already well established and widely used when digital typesetting became a thing in the 70s and 80s. It was only logical that it be included in early personal computers and desktop printers. In 1982, Helvetica was redesigned for PostScript computing and christened Neue Helvetica. Neue Helvetica shipped with millions of devices, spreading Helvetica's reputation and footprint exponentially. Every bit the workhorse as the metal and photo versions, Neue Helvetica is nonetheless a product of its time and technology. The letters are drawn and spaced for use in text type and are missing some of the grace and finesse of previous Helvetica iterations. It's simple and clear, but it could be better. Helvetica fans and aficionados have demonstrated this in their unauthorized customizations and reworkings over the last 35 years. Let that sink in a moment. Yes, it's been 35 years since the last major Helvetica digitization took place. 35 years. There are dedicated Helvetica fans, well into their careers, who weren't even born when Helvetica was brushed up for PostScript. And despite that, the typeface continues to be the most popular and successful font of all time. But 35 years is a long time, especially in digital years. And Neue Helvetica is definitely showing its age. It was imagined for a pre-internet time, a time of low-res laser printers and even lower-res screens. We expect more from typefaces today. We expect they'll deal with those previous challenges, but that they'll also cope with every manner of high-res device, laptop screens, e-ink, and 200-foot-tall digital prints. We expect our fonts to function flawlessly in a range of design applications too, from large eye-catching display text in advertising to hyper-legible microtype in multi-level information design. In short, we want new families that can do everything, everywhere. Enter Helvetica Now. Available in 3 optical sizes: micro, text, and display. Every character in Helvetica Now has been redrawn and refit, and a host of useful alternates have been added. It has everything we love about Helvetica, and everything we need for typography today. Who will use Helvetica Now? A typeface for everything, everywhere? Everybody. Everybody. Designers, non-designers, brands, brand managers, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, aunts, uncles, cousins, priests and politicians, pop watches, posh watches, washing machines, meta machines, medical machines, music boxes, muesli boxes, boxed milk, milk chocolate, hot cheese, red teas, red eyes, red C's, bank fees, Christmas trees, flavor keys, and ironic teas. Everyone, everywhere, for everything. What does the most popular typeface in the history of the world need that it doesn't already have? Better shapes, better spacing, and better features. Helvetica has long been microtype challenged. It struggled to be legible at tiny sizes because of its compactness and closed apertures, and the one-size-fits-all single-master solution of Neue Helvetica meant that its spacing was cramped and ill-suited for 5, 6, and 7-point settings. Helvetica Now Micro addresses those shortcomings. More open apertures, wider, more open forms, a larger X-height, optical adjustments to the shapes of complex forms, open spacing, larger accents, and a host of other small changes combined to produce a highly readable, highly legible font at very small sizes. With reading ease at 4-point, Helvetica has gone from micro-challenged to micro-champion. We designers have long nudged and trimmed and otherwise contorted Helvetica to produce stylish lockups. The practice of altering the spacing and kerning, changing the position and size of punctuation, converting to outlines and trimming off bits here and there to achieve an optimum setting, are all part of the mystic art of Helvetica, tricks and techniques whispered to acolytes in art schools and internships. Helvetica Now Display internalizes those lessons. Its range is vast, from hairline to extra black. Its spacing is smartly tight, and its forms, while classically Helvetica, are stunningly refined, thrillingly graceful. Helvetica Now Display is so beautiful right out of the box that those who have struggled to achieve the same effect with previous Helveticas will breathe a sigh of relief and perhaps be a bit peeved that the secret is out. That big, beautiful Helvetica exists for everyone. Helvetica Now Display is big and beautiful, and Helvetica Now Micro is tiny and precise. Between the two is the true workhorse, Helvetica Now Text. In a range of weights from thin to black, with carefully combed spacing and kerning, Helvetica Now Text is a true pleasure to read and an ample palette for ultra-demanding, information-rich design environments. Each glyph has been analyzed carefully against the Swiss mantra of clarity, simplicity, and neutrality. Previously problematic glyph designs like the @ sign and formerly and unfortunately quaint sterling mark have been reworked. Alternate forms of key glyphs, like a single-story A, have been added across the entire range. Every weight and optical size has also gotten a host of special and especially useful glyphs, including a full suite of Helvetica arrows. Every letter, number, and symbol across the entire expansive character set has been analyzed, revised, and tested for improved readability and performance. This is Helvetica improved for today. This is not a revival. This is not a restoration. This is a statement. This is Helvetica Now. For everyone. Everywhere. For everything.